Wonderful afternoon to all you out there, my friends. It's been another pleasant Wednesday afternoon, and as the Spirit lets me this afternoon, I'm about to bring forward a subject that will offended a lot of people, and this is well called bad mind, grudgeful, and oppositive. Yeah, you have people who oppose everything that you have done for some reason or another, but mainly the reason is bad mind. When they saw what you're doing and how you will be makes you progressive, then they tried in every way to manipulate. Now, all the greats that I know and I have read of, whether in the Bible or elsewhere, once you're trying to step up the ladder, there's somebody there trying to pull you down. Whether they do it physically or they tried to work on your morals, your morality. They tried to do something to make you feel that what you're doing is no good. And it depends on your strength. If you can continue like the man that we're going to read about now, and like I always said, whether if his name was Nehemiah or he has another name, the story that we're reading about Nehemiah, we are seeing it today in other person. And that's the reason why I use them as example, because what happens to Nehemiah then happening to me now. And I know others out there can testify of the same thing that I'm saying. At some point or another, they have felt what Nehemiah was going through when he decided that he's not going to sit back and watch the walls of Jerusalem that was torn down, that the people from other areas come and they could have easy access, right, to his beloved people, right? There was no security. There was no sense of anybody, everybody just free for all. Nehemiah decided that no, I will ask the king, my boss, for on a holiday, just to go home and help to build up the walls. But remember, people were benefiting from the wall that was torn down. People like it. So when Nehemiah steps in and decided that I am going to put a stoppage to this, now those who were benefiting from it certainly not gonna be in arms with Nehemiah. And like I said before, not only in the walls of Jerusalem, but in other areas, you have seen it. When somebody step out to correct something, whether it could be even the ruling government, it could be the opposition, it could be anybody, could even be a pastor, right? And once they are up to something that will benefit the people or stop unlawfulness, that people are benefiting from, they are going to face opposition. Now this man, Reginald Samuel Martin, is facing one of the biggest opposition from all different sectors of society, because I'm building back the morals of the people, not necessarily a black wall, but trying to get them to understand what the truth is and what untruth is, what lies are, what sense is and what nonsense is. And I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, the oppositions are here mainly through benefits. People who are benefiting from boogiagas, call it, if you want to call it that. People who are benefiting from wrongs. People are benefiting from the things that is out of order. Yeah. So when you come and try to put things in order, don't bother believe them gonna be friendly with you. Now these people never friendly with Nehemiah. And we have lots of them today. If you call somebody Sanballat and Tobiah, we could easily say bad mind. Right? Sanballat and Tobiah. Nehemiah overcomes opposition. Sanballat and Tobiah and his friends were his main oppositions. Today, I look at our education system. Today, I looked at the behavior of our children. And I tried to understand the depth of where it is coming from. But the false teachings were there long before I was born. I born 1957, and false teachings were there before. I know many come and tried to correct it, and they gone. Marcus Garvey did, Malcolm X did, Haile Selassie did. All come, but they perish. But that's still not going to deter me from trying to get things right, open the eyes of the people, right? To let them see what has gone wrong and what is right. Sanballat and Tobiah says, out there, you ain't gonna like me, because I'm not going to support you riding on the people's back because they are blind, they are helpless, they have no other choice but to subdue to you. Sanballat and Tobiah says, you know who you are. When Sanballat heard that we Jews had begun rebuilding the wall, he became furious and began to ridicule us. I'm reading from the book of Nehemiah, and this is chapter 4. In front of his companions and the Samaritan troops, he said, what do these miserable Jews think they're doing? Do they intend to rebuild the city? Do they think that by offering sacrifice they can finish the work in one day? Can they make building stones out of a heap of burnt rubble? Now, those are some of the ridicules them drop at Nehemiah. Now, when I go out there and I try to correct what has gone wrong, they said, what you think you do? What you think you are doing? For instance, they're having a problem with this generation of children. And it's simply through my vision from 2005, I realized that why the children of today behaving the way they are behaving is because of the way they were conceived. We have come to know, and we have seen the changes from time to time, where lovemaking takes a different direction, a different toll. We see where the children today behaving worse than the children yesterday, and each era of children behave even worse than before. No one tried to even figure out what could cause that. They don't even try to think of before birth. The initial stages of bringing a child into the world, how do you start it? Yo, girl, come here. Come here. May I go? Or, hello, may I know? May I ask your name? For argument's sake. Right? Or, girl, may I forget you tonight even by gunpoint. You see that sitting there? Me have forget that. When you see me gun, now spread out. And the thoughts before the action, when those thoughts comes into action in those ways, it makes the offspring, the fruits, absorb that same type of behavior. The rum and the boom, the herb, the drugs overall, they have to be on that high, into that sequence before mating. And those are some of the things that is cause the children they bear to behave the way they are behaving. We have seen, and our social media, the various platforms, I saw people post them, take them for fun, the behavior of the children. Boy, don't put the box there. Go and your mother. No, me not take it up. And we can remember, recently we have seen the behavior of the teacher and the students. That is fresh in our memory. Right? Now you beat that child day in, day out, but it already riveted into his DNA. So beating that, we're able to get that out. Now you must stop that where you don't start it that way. Because if you don't start it, it won't happen. So at first, what you're going to do, you're going to put value on the things you do. First of all, you're going to value your one another. The male value, put some value on the female, and the female put some value on the male, because you're now in a mode of continuation when you enter into a relationship and sex involved. So get the mood right, get the attitude right before you started to make your children. If you want a better tomorrow, the 2030, 2040 vision has to start within your own mindset. So I am facing opposition because I'm speaking this way. I'm facing opposition because I speak about the way human being mates, the way they behave, right? The way they get the way in which they get their children, and to see how their children ends up. A lot of them, when the authorities takes them out of society, some of the parents don't even go and identify them. They gruesome act that they committed. They themselves are even ashamed to know that their children would be doing something. Every crime that commit out there is committed by someone that comes out of their mother's womb. No robot committing crime out there. Each one of them has a mother and a father. How do you stop that? How do you stop that? Continue to get your children them back way, and have them thinking of death over life, having them formed in their mother's womb because they were conceived that way, back way, they think back way, they act back way when they were born. How do you stop it? How are you going to plant corn and get gungo peas? How are you going to do that? So the foundations of everything must set right. And if that foundation isn't right, then the entire building will be shaky, as we have seen the shaky grounds that we are on. We are fighting with values. We are fighting with attitudes of our children. A couple of months ago, I think it was a father and a mother or a grandfather were taken out by their own. You find brothers raping sisters, and all of those things are happening because of the attitude in which they were conceived. I'm not saying that's the only thing, but try to correct some of the things that is wrong. Try. Don't rely on what everybody is doing. Try and do what is right. Because when someone trying to correct this younger generation, they said, no, that's not what my mother tells me. That's not what my pastor tells me. That's not what the church said, my religion said. Right? So then those children are exposing their parents. And it's in blindness too, because they do not know. Because that is how they were taught. I hear a lot of them telling people that me did know that cow could jump over moon. I did not know until I see the moon over the cow. I did have to follow what my parents are telling me. I did not know that baby don't come in a buckle until my brain developed. Right? I did not know. So you are a liar. If you tell me about me, did know, say not never go so when them a teach you that. You couldn't also get some box by your mouth. Do what me say. And lot of you big people today me hear a lie. But me did know say cow couldn't jump over moon. I did not know until my senses developed and tells me that it cannot happen. Right? So a lot of these things that we learned from our parents, a lot of them aren't correct. And now the correction is necessary. But it's causing a problem because of custom. So Sanballat and Tobiah, they were benefiting from what was going on there. The Sanballat and the Tobiases of today are benefiting from the dullness of the people. And they simply do not want the people to understand the facts of life. Just as Sanballat and Tobiases did not want Nehemiah to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem because their gravy cart would be hampered and tampered with. Right? Tobias was standing there beside him, and he added, "What kind of wall could they ever build? Even a fox could knock it down." Those ridicule. What Taichikosa try to do? Him no born come see this. Where my try to do? Intimidating me. You know, say everybody who try that dead. Intimidation they are throwing at you now. You see people who tell you them things, they watch them. You need to watch them. They are benefiting from the corrupt system. Right? And they themselves do not want it to stop. Right? They are benefiting from crime. They are benefiting from the behavior of this generation. Right? Yes. So they make no effort to stop it. I personally not benefiting from it. So I want what I see is going on to stop. Whether in the church, in the bar, in the dance hall, in the hotel. I want to see all those things that not benefit to mankind, human being. Stop. All the animalistic behavior, I want to see it stop. I am not benefiting from it. Who are benefiting from it? This hostile behavior. Who believe that all I can do is tell a man about a gun, throw him a gunshot, and make him cringe in himself and knowing that me come for that later. Right? I want that to stop. I am not benefiting from that. A lot of you not benefiting from it or being hurt by it. But sit there and says nothing. I'm speaking this afternoon to the world to understand how some of us are hurting of the malfunctions of the authorities. One of the things that doing this are some of the things, religions, customary, protocols, all of those things that are not being updated. And criminal knew that and capitalizing on that. Yes, intimidation. And Sanballat and Tobias were intimidating Nehemiah and his builders. But Nehemiah did not argue with them. Nehemiah prayed. I pray, hear how they make fun of us, O God, Let their ridicule fall on their own heads. Let them be robbed of everything they have, and let them be taken as prisoners to a foreign land. Don't forgive the evil they do, and don't forget their sins, for they have insulted us who are building. When you see people are try to build back what has been broken down, the morals of the people, the mentality of the people, leave them. Leave them. And try to understand if you don't understand. Leave them. Don't criticize something that you don't know. You'll be critiquing something in the dark that will make you walk and hang your head in shame every day. If you don't know, like the lady who did not know the meaning of alkaline, right? And trying to embarrass me and embarrassing herself, right? Calling me Batman because I said I am alkaline. I love alkaline because she don't know the meaning of alkaline. I only hope she's watching. Somebody tell him she was on by the clinic on Olympic Way. One big fat woman, right? Right? Go and learn the meaning of words, that when you hear people using them, you know exactly what they're talking about, right? This is not about hype, because it don't make sense. You're hype and you're not ripe. You're force ripe. You will be embarrassed. Stay away from embarrassment, right? So we went on rebuilding the wall. So we went on. Let them be robbed of everything they have, and let them be taken as prisoners to a foreign land. Don't forgive the evil they do, and don't forget their sins, for they have insulted us who are building. When a righteous man pray a prayer like that, there is no way on earth the unrighteous one who is trying to stop that one ain't gonna feel it, ain't gonna feel the punch of the universe. No way. When you're doing right, and people who preferred things that is wrong trying to stop you, right? If you kill the man, that you're ending up go worse than the man who is trying to do the right thing, right? This inspiration comes to me today, and that's the reason why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking. For the Sanballat and the Tobiases, for those who don't want the system to change for better, for those who sabotage, for those who criticize, or those who ridicule the ones that are speaking up fully and trying to create an atmosphere of solemnness, trying to put some integrity into you, trying to put some sense into you. The elders or the leaders. My name is Tychicus, your revelator. Love me or leave me. You have a choice.